Greenlitsky touches his nose with his tongue. By the mighty Joehighlord, self-proclaimed lord of the internet, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, let's get on with the reading. Greenlitsky was ready. 5 minutes of training had prepared him for this impossible task. Inspired by Princess Luna's public display of excellence when it comes to the ancient art of touching her nose with a tongue, he had trained to challenge her and take her title for himself. Ever since the display, Luna had been swarmed with praise for her abilities and extremely important talent. Fame and fortune rained down upon her from the sky. Her fame would soon be his. Ever since that day, he had plotted against her. He would surpass her. He would show the ponies of Equestria that it was his right to bring the joys of watching ponies touch their noses with their tongues. He would show Luna. He would show them all. The call had been sounded. The crowd had gathered. Celestia herself had showed up to witness the grand event. Luna was also present, if only to laugh when he inevitably failed. In her eyes, Stanley and Kind was only good for one thing, which certainly wasn't touching their noses with their tongues. The Greenlitsky fan club had come out in force today. They were very rarely seen in mass, choosing to worship their god from deep underground. But today they rose up from the depths of the earth to watch their lord prove forever that his tongue was longer than Princess Luna's. Here's an interesting fact, Flam. Princess Luna and Greenlitsky were once romantically involved. Apparently, because selling cider wasn't working for them, the world-famous Flim Flam brothers had taken up announcing for some strange reason. They were indeed, Flim, though they're anything but snuggle buddies today. With the way they looked at each other before the crowds got here, they looked ready to kill. The sun shone high in the sky, and the combatants readied themselves for what could be, and probably wouldn't be, the most important moment in their lives. Greenlitsky, we love you, master! One of the colt ponies, who followed the teachings of the Green Sky, had pushed past the barriers and was now charging at full speed towards Greenlitsky's tent. What is this, brother of mine? A pony is looking to attack one of our contestants. Speaking into his microphone, his voice boomed across the arena. The pony neared the entrance of the tent. A loud bang and a flash of light later, the pony was consumed in fire and then promptly exploded into a billion pieces in front of every pony else. The crowd found this most amusing, some even asking for it to be done again because they weren't paying any attention. Wow, those fans sure are desperate to get an early look. They even seem willing to risk it exploding for just a glimpse. The time came. Luna and Greenlitsky took their place on the stage. The remaining members of the fan club all exploded in unison out of pure excitement. Wow! Half the stadium may have detonated all over the other half, but those that remain are literally ready to explode out of boom! It seems that everybody else has also destroyed themselves in joy. Flim, are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? I am indeed! The Flim Flam brothers turned off the microphone and also self-destructed. This was followed by all the arena staff, birds in the stands, Princess Celestia, and some random tree. Being the only two ponies left in the arena, boom. Sorry, the only two ponies in the entire world. Anyway, they decided to go on with the competition. Or they would have if Princess Luna didn't also detonate into 3 trillion bits. Being the only pony left in the entire world, probably the entire universe at this point, he stuck out his tongue, touched his nose, collected the trophy, pretended to make a speech, and walked out of the stadium, where he promptly exploded. The tumbleweed rolled across the deserted streets of Canterlot. Everything had gone boom about 2 weeks ago. No life remained anywhere on Equestria. The tumbleweed was happy. The force of all life in the planet extinguishing in an instant had shaken the universe, so that too had detonated. The tumbleweed floated in the void. The tumbleweed was happy. It is said by the void that even God himself saw what happened and chose to end himself in flame. The tumbleweed was God. The tumbleweed floated in the void. The tumbleweed was happy. This tale shall not be sung, for there is none left to sing it. The tumbleweed was forgotten. The tumbleweed was God. The tumbleweed floated in the void. The tumbleweed was happy. The tumbleweed exploded. The word count wasn't yet high enough to submit. The word count was a word count. The word count wouldn't explode. The word count couldn't explode. It was just a word count. The only reason it's in this story is because everything in all of creation has exploded into nothingness at this point, and it's the only thing left. The word count stuck its tongue out, touched its nose. Unfitting music played in the background. The word count was a word count. This joke isn't funny anymore. I'm going to end the story now. It's been an experience writing something so random, pointless, and overly stupid, and of course, unfunny. I will never do this again. By that I mean, I will do loads more, because I am the voice in the darkness. I am the fanfiction. Boom.